Alright, good evening to all my emperors and empresses of planet Kai. I'm coming back with part 2. I tried to record earlier, but the phone died. And I needed to take a walk, so no better time than now to go into part 2. So I believe I cut off at saying that I cut on myself and things like that. And it was because I wanted to feel pain. You feel what I'm saying? Because that was all I was used to. And also because of the abuse, I thought that love was sex. And it's totally not. Just because somebody that loved me was sick and they did those things doesn't mean that it's normal at all. In fact, they need some sort of assistance in prayer and probably a effing exorcism or something like that. But it's not your fault, even if you liked it. A lot of us like to blame ourselves just because we like the feeling, and then we might have tried to push up on a predator after a while. But if you're forced to live with this person or to be around this person and nobody knows what's going on, and in your mind, if you were groomed to be made to think that it's okay, it wasn't. So it's not your fault. It doesn't matter how many years you gotta wait to speak up and talk about it, because that's the only way to free yourself. Because you are not that person that did that shit to you. You are not the entity that they attached to you. You feel what I'm saying? So just know that you are priceless and it's not your fault again. What else did I want to say? After I told, fights broke out amongst the family. Like I said, my grandpa was like a famous boxer back in the day, in the 1900s and shit. And he was also in the military, and so was his brothers. And my grandmom was like the head of the church choir and the lead baker and all types of shit. They had the image to uphold, so they had pull somewhere in the legal system. So they brushed me under the carpet like, yeah, maybe she was riding her bike and broke her hymen and nobody touched her. And maybe her mom, since she's schizophrenic, made her say it. But my mom was never schizophrenic. She used to know everything that my dad was doing. And it was so fucking sinister that it sounded crazy. Just like the shit I be saying now, but it's true. And that's why I'm glad that my generational curse is to pop out and show my gifts. Because you're not going to call me crazy. If my friends that I tap into on YouTube feel my energy and pull up the same exact shit that I'm saying, and it match the signs of everybody in my situation, and I can point out to you where it matches what I got going on, then that's proof right there that that energy is valid. So that's the reason why. Because people like to discredit you when they think that you're alone. But nah, this win comes with sharing the energy of the other 144. You feel me? And like Oracle of the Ether say, that shit change every day. People fall from grace every day. So it's not the same 144 every day. Every minute, every second, that shit can change. What else was I going to say? Yeah, and also, when this happens to you, even if you begin to like it and then you go look for that feeling, it's just like if somebody was to try to inject you with heroin, bro. If they did it, that's a drug where you automatically become addicted, they say. So if you have to fight to get off that shit and you need it for a while in order not to be sick, but somebody like me can help you from the gate. But I'm just saying, if you were one of them people that had to struggle through that shit and became addicted by force, just like girls that get sex trafficked and shit like that, it's not your fault, bro. It's not your fault. So don't feel embarrassed, but you got to release that demon. They put that on you because they knew you were a starseed when you were born. That's why them dark ass people were attracted to your light when these things happen. And they feel like they got to consume you. But the only way that you can make them pay is by forgiving them and beating the fucking board. Because this is a game. You came to this planet for a reason. And one of them was to face your demons. so that you can ascend. So you're going to have to face it, speak your truth, no matter how bad it is, and no matter how much it hurts you. That's only an instant, and tomorrow is different. That'll be the day of your new life. And when you finally heal and let this shit go, even though I'll get into it with separate stories or whatever, that's the way that your enemy is going to fall out. Their tower comes when you forgive, because they thrive off your energy. When they do this and get away with it, that's the reason for a ritual in the first place, to get your energy. Just like Ursula off The Little Mermaid, when she was sucking Ariel's voice out of her mouth. Spirit used to show me movies like this to say, yo, that's you. You feel what I'm saying? This is what was done to you. You gotta get your spirit back. You feel me? And that's the job of these dark ones, to, inhale and take our light from us. But we got to get it back. 555 on the clock. Once you heal, they get annihilated. You won't even be thinking about them. But the moment you can heal that inner child, regardless of where they at on the earth, I don't care if they in Ghana, a thunderbolt might hit. You hear me? Because that's a celebration day. And that's the day your enemy goes down, where he couldn't take your spirit or your soul when you take it back. That's how you beat the board. Get your shit back. Don't let nobody take nothing from you. You hear me? Especially something priceless like your soul and your spirit. Anyway. But back to the story. So my mom went to the police and everything, and they tried to blame it on her so-called illness, but it was no illness. She was having breakdowns because I wouldn't tell her the truth. And she's seen the shit like vividly as far as what he was doing to me. And she considered them to be nightmares because I kept denying it. But just imagine being a mother and being a seer. And when you see it in the spirit, you see a demon fucking the shit out of your daughter or eating your daughter out. That's crazy. That's crazy. And then your daughter's like, no, mom, no, mom. So she driving herself nuts because I'm not telling the truth. But she know the truth because parents know shit. So for years in her mind, that shit played over and over, and it eventually drove her a little bit batty, because I'd be batty too. Not knowing what to do, knowing that you know the truth, but since there's no confirmation on the shit, you can't do nothing about it. But this is the type of shit where you gotta be about it. You try to do things the right way, and because people know people, and you just a housewife, they just discredit you and brush you off. But I still get the counseling though and everything as if it happened, and the rape kit and everything as if it happened, but no charges or nothing. He gets out the next day. And it's crazy because fast forward, on his deathbed, he kept calling me to the hospital because he thought that telling people what he did to me would get him to heaven. And I didn't give him the opportunity. But I fucked up because that day he gave me some things, and I gave my family power by letting them go in place of me to take that from me. Whether I knew it or not, it's still illegal. And now they coming to me in the spirit, letting me know what happened, because he wanted to make things right. Even though material things don't mean shit to me, because everything that I had has already been taken away. But I tell you, I'm a person that will help other people. I know what to fucking do with it. I'm not stingy. I don't care about this material shit in the world, and that's why I have to go through what I have to go through in order to get justice. You feel what I'm saying? And it's crazy, because fuck all that. I don't care about that. This is the kicker. So my mom couldn't get justice or whatever have you. So she ended up losing it a little bit, and she made up a plan for us to go to McDonald's and Burger King. My dad, me, my sister, and my brother or whatever. Normally she go everywhere with us. So I'm like, no, mom, come on. Because I told you I was intuitive back then. Like, I cried because she wouldn't go. So she finally got us to leave. And then it was 2 restaurants. So we had to stop at 2 places. And she was very smart. She a Libra with them Libra scales. So she timed it out or whatever. I don't fucking know. But that shit drove her insane. I just know when we came back, all the doors was locked. And I just knew that my feeling was right. My left eye was blinking and shit all week. And my dad breaking the crib through the back door. And my grandpa downstairs leaking. She stabbed him like close to 100 times, if not more than that. And I guess his karma was to live through all that pain and shit. And he ended up dying slow from stage 4 cancer, having to watch my grandma pass and all this crazy shit because of what the fuck he did. Even though he was out of jail, he still had to go through mental prison. That's how life worked. So it's like hell or jail. And in his mind, he had to live through hell because he lost his woman. Nigga had a stroke. All types of shit. You feel what I'm saying? So people still get their shit regardless. You know? But that's what happened to him, especially each time that I ascended and healed. Something happened. And it's nothing that I did. That's just what happens when you let shit go. I just didn't feel comfortable with him doing that in front of a group of people. Like, you could have did that years ago, because my mom ended up getting locked up for like almost 10 years, having to go to a mental asylum and all types of shit. We had to do visits up there and everything, all because somebody lied, because they didn't want to admit what they did, because that's something that's been happening in their family. And then Spirit told me that my dad was also touched as a child. And then, like, he never admitted it, because men are the last ones to say some shit. So allegedly, you feel what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I recently found out that he's been involved with my sister. But since I was a child and that shit happened to me, the day that my mom stabbed my grandpa up, she was like, and you did it too. When my dad was trying to like break it up so she wouldn't hurt him either, because she was going to kill him too. And we was like, no, don't hurt daddy, don't hurt daddy, don't hurt daddy. And the kicker is that they was on some ritual type shit, because this shit happened, like I told you, when I was like 2 years old, out my diaper. And I used to want to hump with my dad and shit. That shit was because of what happened when I was a baby. And my mom was some sort of prostitute where 7 niggas could have been my dad. So at first, I don't think she loved me enough to protect me, and she let him do what it did. But when she had love for me and realized what it was to be a mother, since her mom had her at 14, she ain't want it to happen no more. And the battle was on since then. When she tried to stop them, that's when shit started to happen. My dad is a high priest, know about earth, wind, and fire, magic, and everything. I'm with the shits. You understand? Every Mason asks me where I know my shit from, and it's none of their goddamn business, because I got it from everywhere. We are the universe. I'm one with the all. What you mean? And I got love in my heart, unlike you, so it's at a higher vibration. I don't got claim no clicks or no sets. I'm 12 tribes. I'm connected to everything, even to you. I am you. You are me. But anyway, they high priest and shit like that. So at the end of the day, they used to doing that. Like, my uncle even did that shit to his daughter, and that's my grandpa brother. And since they was like in the slave times and shit, they used to get buck broken. So this is a generational curse that a lot of motherfuckers, especially people from where I'm from, have to break. And that's me. So if my brother and sister don't want to speak for themselves, I'm speaking up, because I'm ready. You know what I mean? I've healed, and my grandpa came to me in the spirit. I've forgiven his ass and everything, even though he got shit to pay, so that he can ascend. But he got to suffer his karma. It wasn't the end of it. Just because you admit something the day you go. It don't work like that, baby boy. So I'm helping him heal right now too. You feel me? Whether I like it or not. Because that's the only way that this family is going to heal. So, like, I've been wondering for years, like, why I show unconditional love to these two, and they've been mad at me. And through my readings and through other people, allegedly, it's because they were told, you see what your sister did to the family when she broke it up. You feel what I'm saying? And I love you anyway. This is how we show love. Whatever he did to manipulate her from a child. Like, I used to have to whoop his ass, because when she went through puberty and got her boobs and stuff, when my grandmom had died or whatever have you, and he was defending me against his dad fighting my uncle and shit. So he is manipulative than a motherfucker. I wonder if they set that shit up like a play now. But anyway, long story short, he used to beat my sister like it was somebody taking his pussy. You feel me? If she wore these pants and she kept wanting to wear them, and she got hot in her ass, like she used to talk like a baby, and then one day she just changed like a strike of lightning. But I was the same way, and I asked her for years, trying to protect her, like, did something happen, did something happen, did something happen? And she built resentment towards me because I didn't give a fuck, and I told. And she never got the opportunity to. And then, what's that Stockholm Syndrome shit? I don't fucking know. But that's not your boyfriend, bro. And he ain't gonna make it past 2023. Like, if all of this is, I'm saying allegedly, because who the fuck wants to believe this shit? That's what y'all don't understand about gifts. Y'all think that I get on here and be wanting to expose people and do all this shit, but when you heal out of a situation, when you become a reader and accept your gift, and you decide to work for the community and shit like that, Spirit throws stuff at you. So I just deliver the messages as I get them. So I must have been ready. But for me to have dreams about this and then thinking back to what I used to do and he used to laugh at that, like me humping on your leg and shit like that. My mom said, it was you too, motherfucker. I'm gonna kill you too. And I never forgot that day. I'm like, why would she say that? You did it too. So at first, she knew it when she came to me in the spirit and told me that she regret that shit. It's like she offered up her motherfucking kids for a better life and she got me fucked up because I am the owner of my life. Like Dolores Cannon said, I came on this planet by my motherfucking self. But anyway, I'll come back with a part 3 because you know these videos take forever to upload or whatever have you. But I'm going to look at it, see where I was all over the place and where I left off. And we're going 420 some more and I'm going to give you another part to this story. But yeah, like the truth is stranger than motherfucking fiction. And I love y'all.